order to get sand dunes forming, you need sand, you need a big tide range, and you need an onshore wind. The wind blows the sand until it meets an obstacle. That obstacle traps sand. This marram grass grows up around moving sand and it traps the particles. The sand carries on a big wind, it blows in. But each year, year on year, the marram grass dies. Humus builds up and the sand dunes become more and more stable. More and more humus builds up and we end up with much more fixed dunes. And as you go inland, they become grey dunes. You have brambles, dewberry, rose, polytrichum or star moss, and many other species start to grow in the sand dunes. But down at the front, the tide keeps knocking away at the front of the dune and eroding it.
The first sand dunes to form are called embryo dunes. The sand is trapped by marram and sea couch, and the sand stimulates the roots of marram to grow. It's continually spreading and trapping more sand. In the winter, seeds are dormant, reptiles are buried, the birds are feeding. It is a quiet place for wildlife, but it's when the dunes are formed. 70-mile-an-hour winds will strip your flesh. Dunes form, get taller, and march inland. Sometimes the wind is offshore. Sand is blown the wrong way and blowouts are formed.
The low areas at the back of dunes can become colonised by many plants. Blackthorn, willow, rose, bracken, many plants. Often the dunes are then used as camping sites. The low areas in the dunes, the low-lying areas, sometimes are below water table level and become wet, but the low areas between dunes are known as slacks.
Rabbits. They form warrens, extensive warrens in the sand dunes, and proliferate. Star moss or polytrichum folds up when it's dry and opens when it's wet. they have adapted to the dry conditions. Varieties of rose and blackberry can survive because the rabbits can't graze their stems. After the winter comes the spring. The animals and plants emerge, the insects appear, and the dunes become alive.